You guys, I'm literally screaming like I am not even a functional adult right now. But she hit us with the bait and switch and I'm obsessed. Oh my gosh. Hi besties, I'm Annie. What is better than a small town romance? A paranormal small town romance. Besties, we are back for another Trope Trials head-to-head, and this time we are doing paranormal small town romance, which seems like super niche, but honestly these books were not that hard to find. If you've never been here for a Trope Trials video, basically we have two books that fit a similar vibe, that kind of talk about the same kind of thing. For this episode we're doing paranormal small town romance, and we have The Mating Game by Lana Ferguson. Girlie is an unknown omega. She finds her alpha. It's gonna be cute, it's gonna be spicy. And then we also have Soul Searching by Layla Sage. So our two main characters get put together by ghosts. They both have like small town vibes. They both have a huge paranormal influence within them. And besties, teenage Annie would be so happy at this book lineup right now, because let me tell you, I was absolutely that girly who was reading under the covers. My phone had the Wattpad app on it. I was specifically looking for a small handful of tags, shifters being one of them. So whilst this is a Trope Trials, we're going to be putting these books head to head, deciding who did what best, what was the vibe right now, because we're never going to categorically say which one is better than the other, but we're going off of vibes. But teenage Annie would be so happy right now, so we're reading for a little bit of nostalgia today and I'm so excited for it. So like I said, The Mating Game by Lara Ferguson is an Omegaverse, so they are actually wolf shifters. It's not just like Omegaverse and they're still people. She's an unknown Omega. She ends up going to the hospital thinking that she's sick. Our alpha Hunter has been like trying to stay clear of Omegas. He's been like, no, I'm not doing this drama. I'm not doing this drama. And she's like, ha ha ha, I'm coming to fix your lodge in the middle of winter. Let's have some fun. She probably doesn't say that. I have no idea. It says, despite their best attempts to avoid each other, the pair find things unexpectedly starting to heat up between them. Honestly, you could have just given me that sentence and then went, here's the book, please pay me, and I'd have been like, yes. No questions asked. I also read The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson, which I don't know if it's necessarily connected to this, but it feels like the same kind of vibe, because again, in The Fake Mate, they're both doctors at a hospital. So kind of wonder if it is the same thing. I don't remember the name Tess. I have a feeling that she probably doesn't know the characters in book, I'm calling it book one because in my head they're kind of connected. I mean, it could be Hunter who's connected. I don't know. Either way, this feels like it kind of like vaguely continues on, so we're rolling with it. Then we have Soul Searching by Layla Sage. This is her brand new novel. This is a book one in the Sweetwater Peak series. I've heard some people reading this and I feel like the reaction to this book is a little bit like Marmite. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, which makes me a little bit nervous because it's also the beginning of the year. It isn't like spooky times. I am a bit of a sucker for a small town romance, especially if there's something like a little bit weird in it. I don't know necessarily if this has any mystery in it. The cover kind of gives me that vibe because it's just like, I mean, look, if I turn it on you can see a little bit better. I don't know what it is. This cover just screams there's a little bit of a mystery. There's a little bit of a something going on in here. I don't know. It's probably just me. A stirring Western romance about a new to town upholsterer, a photographer whose life has come to a halt, and the supernatural forces that bring them together. Home is where the heart is, and this one is haunted. That sounds hilarious. So it looks like our main girly Collins has like been able to talk to ghosts, or at least like hear them, or that the ghosts have always been her companions but have recently gone silent. So she's been able to like hear them. That's kind of spooky. That's kind of fun. Oh my god, I'm gonna eat this book up. Brady lends out his spare room to Collins when she gets back to town. Says when he agrees to let Collins stay in his spare room, he doesn't realize that she constantly talks to thin air or that she looks like that. Good thing their arrangement is only temporary, right? Okay, so we've got a forced proximity. We've got a I'm letting you in my spare room, but you're also like low-key kind of talking to ghosts. It's kind of freaking me out, but there's something about it that's kind of intriguing. This is gonna be a Corkera book, but you know I have to start with my Omegaverse. You know I have to start with my wolf shifters because nostalgic Annie, teenage Annie would not let me do anything else. So we're gonna save soul searching for another day because the mating game, look at this little heart in here, because the mating game is where we're starting, besties. This book starts off with a bang. We are thrown straight into our girly Tess, finding out that she is now an Omega. And honestly, I didn't clock it until later, but the doctor that she's seeing is actually Mackenzie, who is our main focus of what I am calling book number 1, because evidently if she's in here, you can't tell me these are not a series. And then the second that Tess meets Hunter, she is being so super sassy and I absolutely love her for it. I really do love their dynamic through this entire book, the way that it changes. The fact that we start out with this sassy, oh, I'm gonna tell you how it is, but actually I'm gonna kick myself for it later because you're my boss for this project. And the fact that he's just sat there and he's like, no, 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 go off, queen. You tell me exactly how you feel. I will be teasing you about it later. It is so juicy. It is so scrumptious. And the way that this develops is so beautiful. You guys, I'm literally screaming like I am not even a functional adult right now. I'm barely into this. I am locked in. The whole time I was just giggling at this book. It is so funny, and it's funny in a sense of you're the third person watching it, not necessarily the characters are finding it funny, which to me is the absolute peak kind of comedy. There's so many little bits throughout the entire book that just make you so immersed. There's just little snippets of conversation, little snippets of what's going on that are just thrown in there so offhand as if the characters are truly experiencing it and you're just like following along right behind them, sat on their shoulder, and it is the perfect amount of immersion for a book as spicy and sweet and rom-commy as this. You guys, it's like 10 o'clock at night. I am so ready for bed, and yet my brain is just like malfunctioning. I cannot think about anything other than this book. In fact, I can't even think. I'm enjoying it that much that I have lost all ability to think, and I don't think I can sleep until I finish this. I don't feel like I really got as much of the small town as I necessarily wanted. I feel like so much of the book was focused around them at the lodge doing what they do, also like low-key trying to avoid each other, which was so delicious, but I wanted more from the town. The little snippets that we got were amazing, and I'm like, oh, please take me back. This is so much fun. And towards the end, I was so close to tears. Like, this so nearly had me at so many points towards the end of this book. It was literally perfect for their story. I think if they had been anyone else, like, it just would not have worked. It fit their characters beautifully, and it was all so wonderful. And you really cannot tell me that this is not part of a series when it sets up so perfectly for her bestie Ada to have a book of her own. I am screaming, I need it, I want it, literally yesterday. All in all, this was a 4.5 star with 5 chilies. Look, if you don't want something super spicy, this is not going to be the book for you. I think my one thing would be the fact of I needed more small town in it. Like, I wanted more of the town. I wanted to learn more about it. All of these little bits and pieces, it was like so nearly there, but you just deprived me of it at the last moment. Soul Searching equally starts off with a bang, but this bang is her car breaking down halfway up a hill when she has absolutely no cell service to be able to phone her family to say, hey, come and get me. And look, their introduction is definitely spicier on the eyes than the intro in Mating Game, but you know what? I absolutely ate this up. I really love the inclusion of the ghosts and how it's really only from Colin's perspective that we get to be introduced to these ghosts and see what's happening. But there's little details in the gravity of her situation and what she's experiencing that really pull at your heartstrings, and it makes you so immersed in it, and it makes you so invested in her as a character and also invested in her journey to getting through what she's going through. I feel like this book is taking a lot more energy to get through it. Like, I feel like I've been reading for ages and yet I'm only at like 34%, but I'm also low-key obsessed with it right now. I absolutely love the family in this. So much of the interactions between her and her family felt so incredibly real, especially the beef she has with her sister, and the relationship she has with her parents is just actually iconic. Even Brady being a little bit more of a, I just want to hang back, I want to live my own introvert life. So many of the interactions that he has with anyone other than Collins feel super genuine genuine, and you can really see the essence of the town coming forward as well. I love the way that we get to explore the town here. I love the little bits of information that we pick up along the way. I love how it's presented. Everything about this for the town side of things was actually perfect. Besties, I thought Layla was about to torture us with a slow burn, but she hit us with the bait and switch, and I'm obsessed. Oh my gosh! This one also got 4.5 stars, but it was only 2 chilies, so it's significantly tamer on the chili side of things. Honestly, I think the only thing that brought this book down was the fact that it was like going really slow burn. It was going so slow, and you had to like really work for it, and I felt like I was reading so much of the story and I was progressing the story so much. And then it's like the percentage of how far through I was on this was just like not moving anywhere, which was great because there was so much packed in, but also I felt like I was doing more than what I was getting. So even though it's a slow burn and it takes us forever to get the most beautiful soul-wrenching kiss, it then just kind of went to 100 so quickly, and I was like, no, I was here for the slow. Like, why are we speeding up now? Who put their foot on the gas pedal? I mean, I'm not mad about it. I just want to know why. All in all, besties, this was one of the most successful trope trials I think we've possibly ever done. These are 2 iconic books, and I love them so much for very different reasons. I loved the mating game for the cutesy rom-com vibes. It was so funny, it was addictive, it was really fast paced, and I love soul searching for the depth that we got from the characters and the depth we got from the town as well. Like, I really felt like I was there and experiencing these things alongside Collins, but at the same time it brings you back enough that you're like, well, I'm not experiencing this, but my bestie is telling me everything. This is a really tough decision, besties, because I love them for so completely different reasons. I would say the romance in the mating game was definitely way spicier. It got moving a lot quicker than it did in soul searching, but the town and the immersion that we got of the setting was so much better in soul searching. I honestly don't think I can pick. Besties, this is hard. Pop in the comments down below which one you think should win, because honestly, the jury is out. We're going for a retrial on this because I need some help deciding which of these books is better. I actually can't do it. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me. Literally, let me know if you've read either of these books, or what do you think of them? What did you absolutely love about them? Like, please let me know. And if you haven't read them and these sound like your kind of vibe, you absolutely need to go read them. They are so good. But thank you for coming to hang out with me, besties. This has been so much fun. I absolutely love these trope trial videos. So if there is a trope that you want me to put head to head, if there are 2 books that you need head to head, bestie, sound off in the comments down below. And don't forget to hit the like button for this video as well, so I know that you guys are so here for this vibe. But I hope you have an absolutely amazing cozy chaos day and that your next read is a 5-star. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.